2012.
Oh, wow, man.
Chetan was still in public school back then.
He's right. I was.
Hello and welcome to episode 10 of JoomCast, the podcast that features people who are part of the Joomla community and discovers how they got here, what they contribute to Joomla, where they're going, and a whole bunch more. My name is Tim Davis, the Cyber Salt in the Basic Joomla Tutorials YouTube channel, and I'm here with my host Chetan Madaan of JoomDev, who's behind Asteroid Framework for Joomla and the newly released page builder for Joomla, JD Builder. Hey Chetan!
Hi Tim, how are you?
I am doing all right. I was sick for about 7 days, as you know, and I am just dealing with the after effects of that, but I am feeling human again, so...
Glad you're back. I'm very glad you're back.
Yes, and I'm glad that I am back too, and I'm excited about this next episode of JoomCast that we're doing.
Very well. For those of you who don't know about Joomla, Joomla is a very popular CMS and a content management system for building websites. As of today's recording date, Joomla is running version 3.9.12 stable, and for Joomla 4, we have version alpha. Joomla 4 is the next big Joomla version, expected to come around probably the end of the year or early next.
We want to hear from you. You can contact us on Twitter at JoomCast, or if you're listening to us on Anchor.fm, you can push the send a message button and leave a voice comment up to a minute long. We might even include your comment in a future episode. Let's meet our guest for today. Emmanuel Danan is a full-stack web developer at Agerix, a French web agency based in Bordeaux and Paris, France. He's the co-founder of the Joomla.fr French Joomla portal, organizer of many JoomlaDays, and a member of the board of directors. He's the original architect of FLEXIcontent, a CCK and advanced content manager. Emmanuel owns a master degree in international business from Paris 11 University, that's what XI is, right? And was in another life export sales manager of an industrial company manufacturing fiber optic cables.
Emmanuel, welcome to JoomCast.
Hello guys, thank you to welcome me.
Emmanuel, tell us a little bit about yourself. Give a glimpse of your personal life.
I'm a full stack developer, so I'm both front end and back end developer. I like I like engineering systems. I like design database, and I also like the user interfaces and all the front end layers. So I can do nearly anything with my keyboard to develop web applications. So I'm working in a web agency, which is called Agerix, and it's existing for 10 years now. We are involved in big projects, complex projects with Joomla, with a lot of custom developments, and we are working for all type of clients. We just don't take too small projects because we don't have time and the staff for that.
Thanks for leaving a little bit for us little guy. How did you get into Joomla? What was your beginnings?
So I started with Joomla before Joomla. So I started with Membo at Membo time. I think it was 4.5.2 at the time, something like that, 4.5.1, not sure. And soon after, I developed my first website, I think, for an association. It was just my first, the first time I made a website was in 2005. It was for Stamp Collectors Association, which is run by my dad. And so I was looking for something to create my page easily and be able to modify them easily. And I found Mambo. And a few months after, it changed. I was looking at Google and said, "Oh, there's no Mambo anymore. It becomes now Joomla. What is this Joomla?" And I started using Joomla, so in 2005, just at the start. And for the small story, I'm the dad of a young daughter, and she was born on the 22nd of April 2005. So she's the same age than Joomla.
And that's good. FLEXIcontent was released in 2010, I know, but where did the idea of the FLEXIcontent was born?
I started my own company in 2007, and immediately I gathered with some French developer. I discovered that people can do stuff for free. They can. For me, open source was some kind of science fiction. I didn't understand how people can give their work for free. I was coming from industry, and it was not in my way of thinking. So I was really amazed by that, and so I went to the French forum that was already existing at the time, and it was when I joined the French forum, it was Joomla 107 at the time, and Joomla 107, Joomla 1.0, the user interface was not translated in foreign languages. The backend interface was in English. So my first contribution was to make a hack of Joomla. I mean, translating all the backend in French, and I kept the versioning between the until Joomla 1.0 finished, so it was 1.0.15 or something like that. So I became quite immediately one of the forum administrators, and I wrote also a lot of tutorials in French because I was not very good. For creating website. So I decided, how can I make my company famous? How can I get new clients? So I decided to work tutorials, and I created tutorials, a Joomla quick start guide in French, which was downloaded about 500,000 times.
Wow. That's
And
big.
so people, I had immediately a lot of customers because they thought he wrote a book, so he should be good. And they start calling me, proposing me projects, and my projects grow and grow and grow. And I had a lot of stuff to do. And in 2008, I was chosen to make the website of the president of the Togo, an
Oh,
African
wow. That's
country.
big, man. Wow.
And so I went, so I designed a super cool website with Joomla 1.0 at the time. And I discovered immediately that something was missing. I wanted to be able to make some type of contents and to manage all the content at the same place. So I decided to start the FLEXIcontent project. I made a lot of money with this project. So I said, now I have a bit time. I sit. I bought a new fancy MacBook computer, and I said, okay, now I have to learn how to code. And I need to do my stuff because nothing exists that can be good for that. So I needed to get some kind of financement for that, and not raising money, but have sometimes quiet to be able to develop. And I had two projects at the time. One which is called La Nutrition.fr. It's the biggest French portal about fooding, healthy food, and all the stuff. And the second one was the French Social Security. The job portal of French Social Security was done with
By
Joomla
you
at the
in
time.
Joomla.
Yes,
Wow.
and with FLEXIcontent. And so I developed FLEXIcontent for these two projects. So FLEXIcontent was, together with another extension which was called FLEXIAccess. And FLEXIAccess was managing exactly SEL nearly the same as they are now. It was as powerful, but at the time it was Joomla 1.5, and
Yeah,
nobody was able to do that.
yeah. I remember in Joomla 1.5, the user groups were hard coded. You did not have access
Exactly,
to do access levels and group. You can only do it
exactly.
in Joomla 2.5 plus. Yeah, well, that's
And
big doing it at that time, and looks like you did great project. Wow, that's exciting.
first of all, I'm not a component developer. I develop component because I need them for my project. So I'm a guy who build website. I like to design website.
I think some of the best extensions that we have available in Joomla have come out of that, with people that saw there was something they needed and it didn't exist, so they decided that they would make it. And also, many people decided they would just learn how to make it.
Yeah, you just scratch your itch. Yeah.
Yeah, before that, I never wrote any program in my life. It was just for my first programming was FLEXIcontent. So I discovered the coding with that. I discovered the MVC pattern. I discovered object-oriented programming. Everything, it came from Joomla, from the Joomla framework. I studied the code. I bought a book at Pact Publishing, and made some samples, and
What advice would you give to someone who maybe is listening right now? They've just discovered open source software just as you had, and there's something they want to do differently or do for themselves, and they're in the same spot. How would you advise them to proceed now?
But first of all, I will advise them to look what is already existing. You know, with FLEXIcontent, and I think it's still in the credits, even if it's been rewritten a lot of times. I started with a component which was called QuickFac. QuickFac was a Joomla 1.5 component, which never moved from 1.5, but it was super well coded. So I studied its code, modified it, and created FLEXIcontent out of this. So I think you have to just look at the core components, how they are coded, and you know, if your mind is done for that, you will understand and it worked. And you know, it's not the same period. It was 10 years in the past, and now we have a lot more material, a lot more tutorials, component builders, which can speed up your process, and a lot of stuff that was not existing at the time. So I think it's a lot more easy to develop something by yourself now. And just for a little word, it's not an advertising, but I discovered, you know, I spent about 2 weeks working on an amazing product which is totally free, GPL, zero, no money. It's called GCB, Joomla Component Builder. That's an amazing extension. There is a compiler, so you can make continuous integration. That means you build a component with, it's a Joomla component. It's very simple, you know. No, it's not so simple. You have to know what you want to do. But
Right.
you know, you have fields, you have views, and you assemble that, and it does the job for you. And it's totally crazy because then you can come back in your IDE, write some more code, and it's taken back by the compiler and integrated in the interface. That means you can, most of the component builder, when you install your component somewhere and you modify it, you cannot import it back and continue modifying with the builder. This one you can, and that's totally amazing. So yeah, if you want to start, I recommend this.
So it's a component that lets you build components.
Yes, it's super powerful. It's super powerful, and you know, everything is integrated inside, and that's so easy. Really, you can create nearly anything that you have in your mind with that, but you need to have some PHP skills and some and learn a little bit. You know, it's a user interface with a GUI, and you can
Do
do
whatever you
anything
like.
without
Right.
coding.
You know, this takes me back to a couple of years ago when this question popped up in my mind, like, what was the first program language? Because today we run PHP, but it's all written, you know, and we use Microsoft Windows or Mac, but it's all written, you know. So what was the first language that can compile itself, that would, you know, lay the road as it goes on the same road, you know? And I think I read somewhere that it was C or C++, one of these languages probably, that something was written on, and from there it all got started. I could be wrong, but you know, it's similar to what we're talking about component builder. It's what you can use to actually build components itself, you know? So that's very powerful too.
And what is very powerful in this product is there is inside a compiler, a real compiler. That means
Right.
actually you design your component with component builder, and actually the compiler is for Joomla 3. But after
Right.
that, there is a build component for Joomla 4. That means if you design your component inside JCB, it will be automatically compatible with Joomla 4. You just have to
Wow.
compile in Joomla version or in another.
Right.
And that's the
Right.
magic.
Now we
Yeah,
just need
that's
some
amazing.
artificial intelligence, and we can get Joomla designing components for itself, and we can just log on to JED and see what's new
8,000
today.
8,000 extensions added today. Yeah, 8,000 added every day.
It's the story of the hen and the egg, you know.
Yeah, half of them different flash clocks that you can display on your site. Emmanuel, you mentioned about when Joomla 4 comes along. Where do you see yourself and or Joomla 5 years from now?
I have absolutely no idea. I have absolutely no idea because, you know, it's difficult. It's really difficult to know. But
How
For
How
me,
about
I will work for Joomla. I think for minimum 10 years from now,
but let's say
because
how about in 2 years? Where do you see yourself? Or
I will build website for my clients. That's what I love to do. It's build website. I'm not a project manager. I'm not a salesman. I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm a worker. Really, I'm a worker. That's where I like to be. So I
but
need to
okay,
manufacture
so
things.
that's you. Where do you see Joomla in 2 years or 5 years, maybe?
It depends. It depends on Joomla 4, I think. It depends on Joomla 4. You know, the problem is Joomla is between. Uh, how can I summarize that? You know, there are not one type of Joomla users. Yeah, 100 type of Joomla users, and people they want um, some. I think most of the developer, the integrators and web agency working with Joomla, they just click on buttons. You know, they install templates and click on buttons. And I think the problem now is to push a little bit more the people to build stuff by themselves and give them the tools to do that. For example, custom fields in Joomla was a very good addition because people they discover that they can write their own view templates and load their fields inside, and so that it pushed them to put more their hands in the dirt, you know, and
Right.
do things by
Code more.
themselves.
Code
So
more. Yeah.
yes, code more. So Joomla was position was to be a Wix competitor somehow. And that's really a problem because people they compare. They said most of the clients I have on the phone. They say, "Why Joomla? They don't have this. WordPress they have much more better templates." So, but it's nonsense for me. It's nonsense. Joomla is just a tool. It's a tool, and the point is you build stuff for your clients. So if you build good stuff, you can build with any tools. And Joomla is my tool. It's a tool I choose for all my projects. There's no competition about anything. For me, it's Joomla. I learn coding with Joomla. With Joomla, I go quick, I go fast, I make tailor-made application. My customer love it. There is no button that does not have to appear. Everything is tailor-made. When I see my colleagues and some other web agency and they show me their products, it's not they do not the same job. Really, they don't. They don't. So if the customers are frustrated, it's also because maybe the people want to make it easy when they use Joomla. It's nice, you know. There is a learning curve. There is everything, but you have to. I think people have to implicate them more in that. So what something that is very nice with Joomla. Joomla is, I think, one of the only open source community with as a leader non-developers. It's a mixture between non-developers and developers. There are no open source project that I know that is working like that. Maybe you know some, but I don't.
No, I don't. Yeah, no,
So
I agree. I think agree. And I think maybe that is since developers and users obviously have different viewpoints, they have different
of course.
opinions. That's why we see a lot of, I wouldn't say backlash, right word, but that's why we see a lot of rant happening online over decisions on what should go into the newer version and what should not go into the.
It's complex.
What do you think would be the ideal percentage balance between people that are very active in customizing and using custom fields and doing their own programming and people who just have a site and do the basic things and are building a site themselves and not doing that? What do you think is the needed ratio for Joomla to move forward into the future in a viable way? Because if it's mostly used by people who can customize and get into the more nitty gritty things that they want to do, it's not going to have the same market share as something where someone who's just started a business, wants a website, and is going to slowly learn, comes and does it. So where do you think the balance is in that?
It's very difficult to say because I don't want to say stupid things, so I need to have metrics for that before I say I say stupid things. So, but I say to what I know, you know, with all the community I'm in contact with, um, it's not really representative of what the average is, because the people I'm working with, there are more skills, I think, with than most of the users. But what I say, don't misunderstand me. I don't say it's not good, to push on buttons and to create a website. I don't see that. But the problem is web agencies who sell expensive service. They sell sometimes expensive service just installing a template and pushing 3 buttons. And that's a problem, because the customers, they compare with other website doing, I have a company and my other friend, he has another company, he has his website done, and they compare the project. And sometimes the quality is not here, even if the price is expensive. So I think people have to be more,
Giving more value for what they're being paid.
Yes, exactly.
You do have stats for FLEXIcontent, right? Like how many downloads you're getting, how many active users are using based on how many people are asking for support.
No, I don't. First of all, I'm not active in FLEXIcontent anymore. I'm still following the project. I'm the owner of the.
So since when were you the active developer on FLEXIcontent?
2012.
Oh wow, man.
Oh,
Okay.
Chetan was still in public school back then.
No,
He's right.
the lead developer of FLEXIcontent is called George Papadakis, and it's a super good developer. Really very, very good. A lot better than I am. And so, what is magic in open source, and what I discovered. I launched FLEXIcontent in 2009. For me, the biggest achievement was the 2010, the J and Beyond, the first J and Beyond. It was the first event where all developers who were chatting online met physically. It was in Germany.
First time.
Face to face. 27 countries, about 200 developers from Joomla gathering in one place. And there was, we organized something, they organized something, the J Awards, the JOSCAR.
Yeah, the JOSCAR, yeah.
The JOSCAR. And FLEXIcontent was the best, FLEXIcontent FlexiAccess was the best innovation of the year at this conference. So I was super proud of that. And I remember my presentation, it was I was the first keynote, explaining how to build intranet with Joomla, FLEXIcontent, FlexiAccess. And in the front row, all the lead developers of Joomla were standing in front of me, listening to me. For me, that was totally incredible. For me,
right.
so that's something that I said, wow, that's really amazing. Having support from a community, meet people face to face, and all that. It was totally incredible. So I stayed, I stayed with this idea and say, okay, I have to go on doing stuff like that and improving them. And there are people, who are here to support. I could develop, speak with a lot of developers face to face, and we know how our components can interact together. And that was really amazing. And Joomla has to continue doing this way. It has to go this way. That's the only way, I think.
Emmanuel, shifting gears. Now we've talked, looking back at a lot of stuff. What is something that you would tell a younger you that you've learned at this point in life? If you could go back and visit a younger Emmanuel, what would you tell him?
Oh, yes. There are so many things, so many things. But, I think first of all, it's exactly what I said a couple of minutes ago. There was no business model behind FLEXIcontent. And, if I had to go back, I would have defined a business model just to warranty my users that they can get high level support and it will not be a hassle to do. And, maybe put some money on the table to develop, to make a very nice front-end template, some fancy stuff. Yeah, probably. That's probably a mistake. Because, at the time in 2010, I could have done anything with that. And I did just nothing.
Let me ask you this. Isn't Joomla making the same over the years?
No, I don't think so. I think the problem is Joomla. Joomla has become like it's a big organization, and it's like, there are coordinators, department coordinators. And if I had to summarize that in one sentence, I know people will hate me for that, but there are too many chiefs and not many Indians, and that's a problem. You know what I mean when I say that? too many people take decision and nobody do anything. So that's a problem. It's good to when you are in a company, you can you say you do that, you give them salary, and so they do exactly what you say. But when you have volunteers, you can create all the groups you want. If people they don't do anything, nothing happen. That's a problem.
It's one of the challenges of any organization that grows. Whether it's a business or whether it's a community, open source, a nonprofit.
Oh, nobody's guilty for that. It's not a problem of person. It's just let's call that in industry we call that a growth crisis.
Yeah, and growth is always going to come with its own crisis, and which is in many ways better than the crisis that comes with shrinking. All right, well let's change gears again. It's time for rapid fire. Ah!
Oh, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, so we're going to ask you just some questions and just give us a quick answer.
As far as I can, sure.
Okay. Other than the usual suspects, name a favorite Joomla extension.
RS Form.
RS Forms?
For
Great.
sure.
Yeah, I've used that for a long time. Great. What is an extension you would like to see developed that doesn't exist yet?
If I knew that, I would have developed it myself. That's a graph.
Well, it's hard to get ideas out of him. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
You failed
That's
on
not
that.
so easy
Okay.
to.
What is one thing that you'd like to change in Joomla, assuming you were in charge?
I will never be in charge.
Okay, but assuming that you were, what's one thing you'd like to change?
Maybe make it easy to propose code, because many people, they know a little bit about PHP, but all this collaborative tools, Git stuff and everything is not so easy for them. Create patch. If you don't have an IDE, you don't understand how you can even build a patch. You don't know what it is. I discovered that just when I bought PHP Storm, I discovered that patch is just create a patch and it does it for you.
What's something that you like or love about Joomla?
The community.
Name someone who contributes a lot to Joomla.
My great friend, Jean-Marie Simonet, infograph, who was, he's a granddad of Joomla. It's a guy who found the name of Joomla.
Oh,
Okay. That's a new
the granddad
term.
of Joomla. It's one of the co-founders of Joomla. It's a very good friend of mine, and I just say hello to him because he's old now. He's around 70 years old, and he has some pain, and so I just hope he will get well soon.
What operating system and editor do you use for coding?
PHP Storm.
PHP Storm. Okay, and you just said that, but of course I'm not a developer, so I didn't recognize that as an editor.
That's right. And he uses Mac, so.
And he uses Mac. Yeah, we talked about that
Yes.
earlier. Okay, well, that was easy. That's the end of Rapid Fire.
Is there anything we didn't ask you'd like to mention, Emmanuel?
Just something, I created an extension that was released a couple of months ago for the Joomla Day, which is called Joom Flows, and it allows you to create complex workflows in Joomla, creating on the fly PDF document, attach that to emails and all the stuff. And I think it's something people must have a look at.
Okay, Joom
well.
Flows.
Joom Flows.
Is it on GitHub? Is it an extensions directory? Is it published in the JED?
It's published in the JED and on joomflows.com.
Emmanuel, how can people reach out to you or contact you if they want to?
Oh, they can through our website, www.agerix.fr, Agerix.
So that's www.agerix.
Exactly,
Yeah.
.fr. And my Twitter, Vista Media, and or on my Facebook, I accept the friend request
Okay.
from
Right.
all the Joomla crowd.
And we'll put the link for that in the show notes.
It was great talking to you.
Thank you for letting us interview you today. Make sure you invite all those other people that you mentioned to contact us.
Oh, definitely I will, and thank you for welcoming me.
Well, Chetan, that's it for episode 10. We're into double digits.
Yeah, this is exciting. I never knew we would make it this far. Oh, wait, is that the same thing I said last time? Never
Yeah,
mind. No one
yeah,
listened
you
to
keep-
it
you
anyway.
keep
No one
saying
listens to it anyway, so it's fine.
I really enjoy getting to know Emmanuel, and it's really interesting to meet another Joomla person who started out with zero web building experience, but rolled up their sleeves for themselves, contributed to the Joomla community, all because his father needed a website for stamp collecting, and we've all benefited. So everybody new to Joomla who's listening to this, get out there, do the same. The community's there for you, and we're looking forward to what you bring to the table. JoomCast is recorded live on locations using Zoom, Audacity, and a healthy supply of chewing gum and binder twine.
And cigarettes.
And cigarettes today, yes, because we were watching Emmanuel dragging on the cigarette. It was cool. It was like watching an old-fashioned European movie. It was awesome. He may be the coolest looking guest that we've ever had. Hey, yeah. if you want to reach Chetan personally, his Twitter handle is @Chetan Madaan, CHETAN MADAAN. And if you want to reach me, Tim Davis, you can reach me @Basic. Until next time, enjoy your Joomla sites.
God bless.